Hey guys, Lord here, back again with another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the Mattel Creations exclusive Masters of the Universe Origins Rok-On, brought to us by the fine folks over at, say it with me now, Mattel, because in case you weren't paying attention, I did just mention that this was a Mattel Creations exclusive. Are you paying attention now? Well, if not, you better start, because I have some things to say about the very first Masters of the Universe Origins release, quote-unquote, of 2024 here. And that is, we couldn't have got something more exciting. I mean, really? Rok-On? I mean, I'm sure that there are people who really wanted this figure, and I hope they're happy, but I, myself, am indifferent towards this character, and would have been happy getting him and his ombre last. If I'm being honest with you, I would have rather have gotten Too Bad, but instead they're making him a frickin' Comic-Con exclusive. But I digress. So, with that being said, let's cut right to the chase and get into the meat and taters of this review and take a look-see at all Rok-On has to come with. Starting off with the mini-comic. There you go. And there's a look at the back. Actually, did I show the back first? Like an idiot. Or is it upside down? I think it is. There we go. Hey, stupid. There we go. There we go. Gee whiz. But, yeah, there's your mini comic. You want to read it? Well, I'd say get your own, but he sold out in 30 minutes, surprisingly. Despite the fact this figure is literal arsenic mixed with a side of arse, dipped in arse, boiled in arse, cooked in arse, and served on an arse. He sold out in 30 minutes. He does have this weird satellite-looking gun. I better stop doing that. I'll get distracted. Maybe like you did earlier when you missed the part where I said this was a Mattel Creations exclusive. I know there's one of you who did it. I know there is. But, there we go. There's his gun. Cool. He can hold it in his hand. Which is a pain in the arse, once again, to get to. Let's just go over articulation, because it's pretty bad. The points are all there, but the range is not. His head actually has a hinge a little bit because of quote-unquote transformation. And then he does have a ball joint. We're used to seeing in the line. He's got hinge swivel at the shoulder. You can only lift the arm about that far. You can rotate him around. Cool. Yay. Hip hip hooray. He's got single elbow with rotation. He's got a swivel in the wrist with a hinge. Good luck popping them out if you want to do swaps or something. The waist will rotate. Hips appear to be on either disc hinges or possibly even just a ball hinge. Or the ball peg, I should say. But I honestly can't tell. But they do go out a little bit. They go back down. They rotate forward and back. He's got the knee swivel with the hinge. And I will tell you, be careful with this. I heard from the local friend who shall not be named for privacy reasons that some people busted. They busted their Rok-On by hinging the knee wrong, probably, because it's kind of hard to see it. But if the flat part of the leg here is on the front, then you know you got the right setup there. That said, you want to have the boot turned right, too, because this piece will clash with the knee hinge. They engineered it to where you can get a bend, but I will tell you, the range in the feet is there, but it's almost unusable because of all these rock panels. So, fairly limited. I hate this one on his head. It looks really stupid. Like, this couldn't have folded down to look better. I don't know. I'm not a fan of these rock dudes, but I've collected the Origins line since the beginning, and I have all the different characters from the original vintage 1980s line, so at this point, you're going to have to buy the Kakapupu Duddy Stinko characters to really be like, I got all of them. That said, as far as transforming him, quote-unquote transforming him goes, you flatten the head down like that. You flatten the hands out like this. You fold the arms up, like so. I mean, it's really like a lobotomized chimpanzee could probably do this. But there's the front of the rock. And then all you really got to do here is turn the legs a little bit. Turn the legs a little bit. Basically just turn the boot in, and then you can hinge these up. Like so. And bada bing, bada boom, like good old Charlie Brown before us, you got a rock. Granted, yours could turn into a little blue man, but you got a rock nonetheless. And if you're wondering about his gun, he actually does have a place for it. He's got a port right on his chest there. You can plug this in like so. Kind of does help lock the legs in place also, I might add. Just gotta have it facing the right way. Alright, let's just do this. Whoop! There. Whoop. There you go. There is Rok-On in his rock mode for the most part. You know, I did it kind of quick because I don't want this to run too long. But there he is. Yeah, literally looks like he's sucking himself off in this mode, which is pretty hilarious and dumb at the same time. But again, it's freaking Rok-On. Curious when we're gonna get Stone Dar, because you gotta have both, right? Despite the fact that they're both kind of atrocious in their own way. You can put the gun in his hand, you just gotta kind of move it out of the way of the stone plate, and you can peg it right in. You can peg it right in. There. And there's Rok-On, ready for battle or some crap. Yeah, I'm not, like, over the moon about this figure. It does what it needs to do. He could turn into a rock. It looks like Rok-On, but with articulation. And arguably, probably better than the vintage one. I know this, but it's still freaking rock. Like, I like Extendar, and he's kind of an oddball, right? Basically a better version of Mechaneck, if you ask me. But, before we wrap this thing up, I don't have a lot of size comparisons for these Mattel Creations Origins releases, so we're just going to bring in our two regulars and make these reviews as short and sweet as we can, and probably fail miserably in the process, as usual, right? But there's the Mythic Legion's Brother Manipulith, and the infamous 11 Spawn, who are, of course, bigger than old Rok-On here, but hey, he turns into a rock, right? At least he's got that going for him. So, with that being said, it's time now that we're going to wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and for the first actual release in the Masters of the Universe line for the calendar year 2024, for those of you watching this in the future, yeah, kind of if you ask me, because really, Rok-On, not something a little bit more exciting? Either way, despite my opinions and feelings about this figure and or character, it does what it needs to do. It just kind of sucks. So take that for what you will. If you like Rok-On, you're probably going to love this figure. If you're not into Rok-On like me, you're probably going to be indifferent towards it. Acknowledge that it does what it needs to do, but that's as far as the conversation goes. So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and until next time, I'll catch you guys later.